Oh, but the timer didn't start when I was walking up here.
Name and address for the record, please.
Roger Treb, 3309 McCulloch Street, Stevens Point, former alderman of District 7. I would also like to ask the mayor or the clerk for permission to have some handouts distributed of what I'm talking about to the alders and for the record.
Are there any objections from the council?
Okay.
Seeing none, President Phillips, if you could hand those out.
All right, thank you. Good evening, alderpersons. This evening you have a project coming before you which appears to have been voted down by emotions rather than logic. At the Plan Commission, much was heard from people living outside the city of Stevens Point. While the city desires to be a good neighbor with the surrounding municipalities, it is each of your respective duties to represent both your districts and the interests of the city of Stevens Point. I am here this evening to talk to you as a former alderperson, as a constituent of District 7. Of course, my alderperson isn't looking at me. But Point of Beginning and Blanker have presented proposals which will cost the city very minimal, perhaps the occasional police patrols, as well as hopefully no fire services. It will, however, ensure continued growth to both Stevens Point's assessed value, but also immediately add value to the tax roll upon assessment and collection. Previously, this council has expressed interest in developing alternative transportation projects in the form of bike lanes. Money for these projects need to be supported by some means. If you don't find the means to augment the city coffers, your projects will only take away from other important functions, be it street maintenance or police and fire services. The pie, if you will, that provides these services is very fixed in size. The increase annual is regulated by state restraints, minus the inflation and cost, and the increase in operating costs. No one on the council has brought forward how the future recurrent maintenance costs are going to be paid for. In 5 to 6 years, the future striping will need to be repainted, where the potential cost could be $500,000, $600,000 or more, and that'll all come out of the budget. You need to find ways to augment it. For a city the size of Stevens Point, these costs could be devastating to the annual budget. As I and other alders departed 2 years ago, almost all of us had similar themes, and that was leave our personal agendas at the door. While our personal agendas may define us, it is not the true reason why we are in these positions. It is to serve the public in our districts. It is also to help develop and ensure the growth of the city of Stevens Point. Over the past number of years prior to this council, previous councils have had a number of closed session meetings and open meetings regarding residential growth and development opportunities. To my knowledge, many of these projects fell by the wayside for a variety of reasons. Perhaps from our collective hoops, perhaps from other outside concerns and influences. But the need exists for housing, both in the form of single family as well as multifamily housing. We also discussed the need for more affordable housing. This is a win-win project that will help move forward, filling a small part of that need. Alderman Dugan recently commented in the local media regarding the Ellis study and the need for better wages. Housing like this also helps provide better wages. We need to do things to keep the costs down to the taxpayers, which this project will help do. You don't want to have grandma and grandpa lose their house because they can't afford to live in the city. You need to be cognizant of that. As this parcel is currently zoned, if you deny this project, tomorrow the owner or another developer that meets the criteria of the zoning could create a project that will truly be harmful to that area, the aesthetics of the neighborhood, and provide more traffic and more congestion. It could move forward with absolutely no need for the council or Plan Commission approval at all. Be careful what you wish for. You may get far worse and not realize the growth the city solely needs. Vote for the Blanker Apartment project.